the old school. In the year 1922, there was an old school. Many horror adventurers went there, but they still had not come back. Arnold and Hugh were adventurers who went there too. First, they entered the old school, but suddenly the entrance door was closed. They are so surprised. Second, they searched the first floor. Hugh and Arnold went to the basement floor. There were very many dead bodies. It smelled bad, and suddenly Joseph's ghost chased them. They ran away to the bedroom too. Joseph's ghost came after them in this bedroom. First, he opened the door and he said, "They are right there in there." Next, he came a second door and he said, they are not here either. Finally, he came to the third floor. The third door opened it, but Hugh had a lighter and melted Joseph's ghost. Next, they went up to the second floor and searched the second floor. They found a key, but suddenly the crazy zombie Jane chased them. They hid in the nurse's room. Crazy zombie disappeared, but that room had many dead bodies too. The two adventurers heard chewing a brain sound. Then they noticed Charles Zombie in the nurse's room too. He was eating brains. The brave boys didn't make any sound. Unfortunately, Hugh adventurer mistakenly made a small cry sound, so Charles Zombie came to Hugh. Charles Zombie chewed on Hugh's shoulder, but Hugh caught Charles Zombie's head and cut his leg with an axe. Hugh said, "Kill me fast, kill me!" But I couldn't do it because Hugh was his best friend and always did adventures and succeeded together. Hugh grabbed the axe and he committed suicide. Arnold tried but decided he would suicide for his honor. He moved to the third floor. The third floor was more than scary than the first and second floor. He searched extremely diligently, keeping his best friend and adventure in his mind. Now, the crazy zombie Jane chased him once more. Now, he ran quickly and wondered why he had chosen this place. Arnold dropped the key and crazy zombie Jane picked it up that. Now Arnold had to chase crazy zombie. Finally, Arnold caught crazy zombie Jane and he hit her head, but crazy zombie Jane didn't die. Therefore, he smashed her with a hammer and she died. Next, I was chased by Brandon the ghost. Thankfully, he disappeared. Suddenly, I hear a scream. When I looked to see it was a girl, she had blood all over. One of her eyes was red and she cried blood tears. I ran away, but she chased me screaming. I threw the hammer at her head and she died. When I look more carefully, I realize I look like Sarah teacher. Next, I went the fourth floor. This area was really much scarier than the first, second, and third floor. But both upstairs doors was closed. I had to find the upstairs key. I had found all of the fourth floor parts, but I couldn't find the key. Thankfully, I remembered I had the master key and went to the penthouse. I opened an area, but I still couldn't open the fourth upstairs. The penthouse, there was a boss zombie. His name was Ryan Zombie. He said, "If you beat me, you can't escape this old school." I said, "Okay, no problem." I was confident, but I was 10% afraid. Now I fought with the Ryan boss zombie, but I won very easier. I just threw the hammer and both zombie had exploded and he died. I felt mostly good, but I felt bad just 30% because his best friend Hugh had died. However, I had strolled to the entrance. At the entrance, I met Brandon the ghost again. Brandon goes back to the nurse's room. He said, "If you beat me, I will revive your friend Hugh." I threw liquid nitrogen on Brandon Ghost, which made him into ice. Then I threw the hammer at him, which shattered his body into a trillion pieces. When this happened, Brandon Ghost lived, force returned to Hugh's body, and she was revived. Finally, Hugh and I escaped the terrible, scary adventures world. We were the heroes. Thank you.
Okay. Very interesting, scary, and wonderfully crazy story. Good job.